Hey y'all, welcome to Dots and Beyond. I'm Beth. It's time for another chapter in the Magnus archives, so let's go ahead and get started. Jumping right in, if you're new here, this is my son's bullet journal. I do a custom creative journal for him each month, and this year we are working our way through the entities from the podcast, The Magnus Archives. This month our theme is The Buried. More on that later. For this setup, I've added some brown torn paper to simulate earth or dirt across the bottom of each page. The paper is packing material from Amazon, nothing special. I'm also using the sepia or brown-toned Pigma microns to keep with the dirt-colored theme. I'm going for a sketchy style and will avoid using a ruler throughout the setup. I'm also going to add in a gold gel pen. Now, about the buried. In the dark recesses of our human psyche lurks an entity known only as the buried. It is the embodiment of one of our deepest fears. Imagine the suffocating grip of claustrophobia, the terror of being trapped in tight, constricting spaces with no room to move. Feel the weight pressing down upon you, the earth itself closing in, suffocating, choking the very life from your lungs. The buried finds its home in the depths below, in the earth's bowels where the air is thin and the darkness absolute. It revels in the fear of being buried alive, of being swallowed whole by the earth itself. The buried feeds on more than physical confinement. It thrives on the crushing weight of debt, the suffocating pressure of financial ruin. Like quicksand, it pulls you down deeper and deeper until you are drowning in a sea of unpaid bills and mounting desperation. Even the waters hold the touch of the buried, but only when they become a suffocating embrace, dragging you down into icy depths, crushing you beneath the weight of the waves. Beware the whispers of the buried, for they speak of imprisonment and suffocation, of debts unpaid and dreams unfulfilled. In its cold, dark embrace, there is no escape, only the endless descent into depths of despair. As we have found over the last 3 months, each entity has books, objects, places, and even people to which it becomes attached. For the buried, there are 4 artifacts I'm illustrating throughout the theme, starting with the coffin. It is a vessel of dread, sealed tight with chains. Its lid a portal to the horrors of the buried. Locked away within its suffocating embrace, the victims of the coffin scream and moan, their desperate pleas echoing through the earth when rain falls or when objects press upon the lid. The scratching of wood fills the air, a chilling reminder of souls trapped within. Amidst the darkness, there gleams the 7 Lamps of Architecture by John Ruskin. Though I'm illustrating them as physical lamps, this is a book. To read its pages is to court disaster, for the very walls around you begin to close in, suffocating you with their embrace. Yet in the presence of Robert Smirke's architecture, its secrets unfold, granting the reader the ability to shape and mold the very structure of the buildings around them, a power as awe-inspiring as it is terrifying. The 7 Lamps of Architecture is a real book. There is also the box, a malevolent creation that ensnares its prey with promises of escape, only to crush their hopes beneath its unyielding weight. Touch it, and you are trapped within its confines, the walls closing in with each fleeting moment of hope. Time itself warps within the box, its victims experiencing days and nights within the span of a single day, each passing moment a torment of despair. And then there is the sinister tome known as Dig, a Leitner book shrouded in mystery and darkness. Its pages bear but a single word repeated endlessly: dig. Those who dare to delve into its depths find themselves consumed by a fascination with dirt, an insatiable urge to dig, to unearth the secrets hidden beneath the soil. Some whisper that it grants its readers the ability to discern treasures buried beneath the earth's surface, though at what cost, none can say. Among the buried's victims, there exists a chilling tale of Carolina Gorka, a hapless soul ensnared in the clutches of an underground train that traversed a nightmarish route without end. As the journey pressed on, The confines of the train grew tighter, the air thick with dust, and the weight of the earth bearing down upon her. Another victim, unnamed, an engineer who works in the tunnels and forgotten passageways that wind their way through the earth, repairing sewers and gas lines. A tunnel collapses, trapping her beneath a mountain of rubble. In the suffocating darkness, she cries out for salvation, feeling as though days and weeks have passed with no hope. Then, like a whisper in the night, a hand reaches out to her, its touch at first welcome, but as the fingers close around her ankle, they feel of cold, ancient stone. With growing horror, she realizes the hand sought not to rescue her, but to drag her deeper into the earth. Just as she felt her strength waning, rescue came. The hand vanishes, leaving behind only deep bruises as a grim reminder of the horrors she has endured. The buried also has its worshippers and human talismans. One of these is the governor, described as short and stout, with shadows that cling to him like a cloak. Atop his head rests a tall, black hat. He brandishes a black cane, its iron tip gleaming malevolently in the dim light. The governor is heralded by the jangling of keys, a sound that can induce a sense of suffocating dread as though the very walls themselves are closing in. And finally, we have a ritual. The buried's ritual is known as the sunken sky. On the fateful night of June 17, 2008, the quiet town of Bucota, Washington, became the stage for a harrowing spectacle that would forever stain its history. Under the cover of darkness, the townspeople were drawn inexorably toward a yawning chasm, a massive pit that seemed to beckon them with a siren's call. Silently, they climbed into its depths, their eyes vacant, their movements mechanical, as though entranced by some unseen force. But amidst the throng of the entranced, one figure stood defiant against the encroaching darkness. Gertrude Robinson, the former librarian, a beacon of resistance in a sea of submission, took a stand against the insidious influence of the buried. With grim determination, she hurled the dismembered body of Jane Kilbride, tainted by the touch of the vast, into the yawning maw of the pit. More on the vast next month. In that moment, the spell was broken, the hold of the buried shattered by the sacrifice of one brave soul. Yet as the echoes of defiance reverberated through the night, nature itself seemed to recoil in horror. An earthquake, born of the town's unholy communion with darkness, shook the very foundations of Bucota, reducing it to rubble in a cataclysmic display of wrath. On this review page for my son, you'll see the little bit of that destructed town. Now, I did intend to give him a quarterly review earlier on in the journal. I had forgotten to do that, so we just stuck it back here in the back, and he knows to go ahead and do this before he actually starts April. And that, my friends, is our descent into the buried. I did keep a Shakespeare quote on this cover page, this one being, "In this I bury all unkindness," from Julius Caesar. Tell me, is the buried one of your primal fears? Are you afraid of being buried alive, or drowning in crushing debt, being swallowed up by a tidal wave and thrown into the depths of the ocean? Let me know in the comments below, and leave me a shovel emoji to let me know you were here. Thank you so much for exploring the buried with us today. If you liked this video, you know what to do. Go ahead and please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.